Hi, this is Jeanne Baus, and I am here today to share with you a wonderful person, Cynthia Schaub, that is a spa consultant and also an EFT practitioner. How are you doing today, Cynthia?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be talking to you today. So let's just start out with the first question of getting the audience to get to know you a little better. What is one of the most challenging times of your life, and how did you overcome it?
So there are so many times that I could recall, but the one that sticks out the most is I had a business for 15 years. I was on my 10th year of owning a business. It was a spa. I trained and mentored and managed of some of the most amazing massage therapists in the city of Atlanta. And it was a very successful business. And then I kind of got off track a little bit and started getting a little greedy, started wanting to expand the business and open up other locations. And I made a business move. It had to do with marketing. That wasn't a very wise decision on my part, but I was not the expert in marketing. I'm the expert in the massage business, or I was, and I mean I still am, but at the time I made the wrong decision and it backfired, and I ended up almost losing everything. And there was a point where I was literally my overhead, everything tripled. Everything just tripled, all of my overhead in every way that you can imagine. And so it drained everything, all my income and my savings and everything. And I was in a desperate situation. I almost had to close my doors. I can really relate to the things that are going on right now in the world with a lot of people in desperate situation, the small business owners, because I was there back in 2010, and it was such a horrible experience. And I got to the point where I was crying myself to sleep every single night. I couldn't look people in the eye because I was so humiliated and embarrassed, and really just disgusted with myself. And then just something happened, and I just had enough in me to fight back, because even though it was my choice, ultimately it was my choice, the decision I made. I was working with a company that is an international company, a worldwide company, and I fought back, and I fought by myself without a lawyer. I turned it around. I was able to save my business and turn it completely around, and then I ended up selling my business. And but it was like a 2-year to 3-year period of like pure anguish. And a lot of people just suggested, just walk away, cut your losses, just, and I was just like, no, I cannot do this. This is like, I put all my blood, sweat, and tears into this business, and I built it, with my team, but I built it alone and all by myself. And so that was one of the best. So it was one of the most horrific experiences in my life as far as business, but it was also one of the most rewarding and learning. It was one of the biggest learning experiences of my life. And so I was able to turn around and sell it.
Well, congratulations on sticking with it, and your fortitude paid off.
I know. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next question. What are a few of the professions or careers that you have done before becoming an EFT practitioner?
Okay, well, I like to say I'm a jack of all trades. I started to become really resourceful at a young age, but my first mentor was an owner of a very, it's now, I'm not going to say the name of it, but a very famous restaurant, but at the time it was small business, and the owner was my mentor, and I made a lot of money at a young age. I was a waitress or a server. And then another time I joined the United States Air Force, and I worked in the medical, I was more of an admin. So I was admin in the Air Force at the Wilford Hall Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas for 4 years. And then that led me, after getting in the Air Force, I wanted to help people, but I have a fear of blood, which is something I might need to tap on. But I am very squirmish, and I do not have a stomach for any kind of, blood or anything like that. So I worked in the cardiac care unit and the OBGYN clinic when I was in the Air Force. And when I worked at the cardiac care unit, it really opened my eyes, because I had to do a lot of presentations for the cardiologists. And I worked closely with the cardiologists and the nurses there. And one of the things that I kept hearing everyone share with me is that the stress, like, these people, a lot of these people were healthy, or, they appeared healthy, they did a lot of the right things, but it was the stress that ultimately would really cause them the most problems. And of course, there were lots of people who would go in there for, smoking or bad diet and all of that. But there was just as many people going in for heart issues or, heart problems from stress. And so when I got out of the Air Force, that's when I realized that I wanted to go into the massage industry.
Wow, that's a wonderful story, especially when it involves, being of service to our country.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Appreciate it.
How do you feel compelled, and why do you feel compelled to be an EFT practitioner and to help people with this technique?
So the reason why I feel compelled to even be in the helping industry, no matter what it is, but it just started from, when I think back in my childhood, I was a child of abandonment, pretty much, but it was just because my mother worked 2 jobs, and she was a single parent. So a lot of things happened, and I did not have the tools. I was not taught any good coping skills, and from that I was diagnosed with ADHD just about 5 years ago. But that was one of the biggest obstacles for me. Was not only did I have PTSD, but I had ADHD, and that just caused me problems throughout my life. And so when I discovered EFT, and I realized that it was something that could help me instantly in a very stressful situation in the moment. I mean, of course, it gets to the deeper levels and the deep rooted stuff, but it's also a tool that I can do. Like, if I'm in a situation, I can just walk away and run to the bathroom, or walk outside, or walk into another room, or whatever, and I can use the EFT right then, right there, and get relief immediately. And I want to share that with the world, because anybody I can, because I don't like to see people suffer, and because I have empathy, a lot of empathy, and because I'm in this in the spa industry, I've even acquired even more empathy. I can read people's body language, and I can just look at someone and know when they're have that anxiety and the stress just right in their body. So that's one of the reasons why I feel compelled, is I just want to help people, empower people to take care of themselves when they're in a situation of extreme stress. And then the deep-rooted stuff will come later.
Yes, it sounds like those tools have had an incredible impact on your life, and now you want to share them with other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
can you name 2 famous people that you admire and tell us why?
Well, the list is endless. But whenever anybody asks me this question, there's always 2 people that, as far as famous people, because if I get into authors and all these other people, I could just, it's never ending. So 2 famous people would be Morgan Freeman and Betty White. And Morgan Freeman, I love him because I just feel like, you know, his presence, he's a very graceful, giving, loving, compassionate person. And he's just, he's had, you know, he did not grow up, he did not grow, you know, up in a, he had a difficult childhood, and he had struggles, and he almost had a near-death experience, and when he was young, and it's changed his life. And I've heard his story, seen his interviews, and then just admire him as a human being. And he does give back all the time. And then Betty White, she's just a woman who has grown older gracefully, and she believes in laughter and being laid back and lighthearted. And so I just love her, and she's just, you know, and she loves animals and stuff like that. But I just think she's an amazing person, and anybody that can make you laugh is, you know, someone that I admire.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Can you tell me 2 of your hidden talents?
2 of my hidden talents, one of them is climbing trees, and I've always been a tree climber ever since I was a little girl, and I still climb trees to this day. And then the other one is belly dancing.
Belly dancing. Can you share with the audience two things that you feel that you're not good at?
Well, the singing, I'm terrible at singing. And I really am. I'm really horrible at singing. Everybody reminds me of this all the time. And math. I'm not good at math.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cynthia, I have to thank you for being so honest and so open with the audience today. I feel like I know you a lot better, and you're a fascinating individual. You've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, and you look like you're a beaming light of sunshine today.
Oh, you're so kind.
And, you know, I look forward to interviewing you again in the future and seeing how things unfold as you share these magical tools of EFT with people in your life.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Well, Cynthia and the audience, everybody have a wonderful day. And I look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
You as well, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.